YouTube universe. What's going on, all my hitmen and Harley Quinns? You know who it is. It's your favorite mother freaking role model, the Buddhist with an attitude, aka Mr. Wonderful. Hitman Thornton for Raw Reaction T Vizzle. I'm back, people. I'm back, and here we are doing another MCU. Disney Plus, MCU, series, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, before I get started, just want everybody real quick to just hit those subscribe and hit that bell symbol so you can get, alerted when I post my vids and whatnot. Okay, now let's just get right to it. Obviously, this whole thing is basically supposed to, for some of y'all real quick, but let's just do a real quick catch-up recap so everybody's familiar. This show basically is supposed to be taking place, I believe, 6 months after Endgame, after the battle with Thanos, and also 5 months after WandaVision, after Wanda's situation. And I believe 2 months, maybe 2 or 3 months before Spider-Man Far From Home. So it's really cool how they're, fitting all this in. It's real nice, real nice. Okay, so basically, this episode, you have basically Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes just readapting back into society after everything that went down. The battle with Thanos, the Winter Soldier thing with Cap, the blip and everybody returning. So basically, it's just real world stuff. If you get what I'm saying, okay, it shows that even though they're superheroes or anti-superheroes, whatever you want to call it, I'm speaking that because of Bucky, is they still dealing with real world problems. Okay, Bucky trying to readjust. He's still, even though after he was in Wakanda for a while, which he mentioned that was probably one of the most peaceful times for him when he was there, and he got Shuri deprogrammed him and all that, but he is still getting nightmares. He's still having nightmares from his Winter Soldier days, dream nightmares and whatnot. And he's going to see a therapist and all that and whatnot. But I'm jumping the gun here. Basically opens up with Sam Wilson putting on a suit. You got Cap shield on the bed. And at first I'm thinking, wait a minute. I hope he ain't going to Tony Stark's, funeral. But then I was thinking, wait. No, because I see Cap shield. I said, wait a minute. Are they doing a little funeral thing for Cap? Because I wasn't sure. So, but anyway, it cuts to him going on a mission. He's still, doing a lot of Mission Impossible stuff, even though he's not with, the Avengers, kind of dismantled at the moment. And he's still doing military mission stuff. He went to go rescue this liaison from ALF. And welcome back, the return of George St. Pierre. And we never did catch his, or did we? Did they say his name? But anyway, his character's name is Batroc, which is pretty cool. So welcome back, George St. Pierre, former UFC fighter. And so it's good seeing him again. And we have some badass action sequences with Falcon and trying to rescue the military liaison. Can't even say that word right. Liaison, whatever. Anyway, basically rescuing this guy. And so we had some cool, badass action sequences of him flying around, especially going through the canyon, which kind of reminded me of Star Wars, the trench run. And almost said Batwing. Oops, Red Wing, which in the comic book it's an actual real Falcon, but in they modernized it. It's basically his own little personal drone that responds to him by just speaking, which is cool. And, going against some Black Hawk type choppers and whatnot, taking him out, rescuing the guy, taking out the guys that took him. But Batroc did escape, George St. Pierre's character. So we'll definitely be seeing him again. And then he also has this guy that was working on the ground. Before he went off on the mission, he had this not general, but sergeant type dude let him know the mission and all that, and his Torres, which will be his commander on the ground, which would be his other soldier on the ground that he's going to be commentating with or chatting it up with. That's going to be helping him. And Torres, which I found interesting, is also reference to, I believe, Joaquin Torres in the comic, who becomes the Falcon after Sam takes up the mantle of Captain America. So I'm wondering if they're going to do that or not. So you have to wait and see. So anyway, they meet up and they're chatting about they're chatting in I forgot the city that they were in, but it's Middle East, and they're just chatting it up. Torres asking them questions about this, that, and the other. Where's Captain America? All these conspiracy theories that he's on the moon and all that, and he's saying, "I don't buy all that hype they're talking," which is kind of interesting because Nick Fury's up in space with the scrolls, sword. So I'm wondering if that's where Cap is now, or if he's just off living his life. So you never know. So um, also had to check something. Looked like it stopped recording for a minute, so my bad. Anyway, also it's also showing Sam Wilson got a little skills with technology. Obviously, it's his Red Wing, so he also knows how to work it. And he says every time he gives it to, the military or the Navy or whatever to try to work on it, it always seems to come back glitchy, which is like, yeah. So anyway, he's leaving. Torres asking where you going. He says, I'm off to take care of moon stuff. Kind of funny. But also he gone to the Smithsonian to, I'm hyped up with caffeine today, so I'm just stumbling all over my words. Stop it. Anyway, so he returns to the Smithsonian to give them Captain America's shield, even though Cap did give it to him at the end of Endgame when he returned back, from time, but he was an old dude. Because originally when he returned, he went back in time to return all the Infinity Stones, but he decided to live out his life with, what's her face? Carter, Agent Carter, and Carter. So, which was kind of cool. But then, he was an old guy when they came across him again, and he was there to give Sam the shield so he can basically just take on the mantle. Now, Sam basically doesn't feel right, like he deserves it. He ain't ready for all this pressure. It's a lot of weight, taking that on. So he never felt ready, and especially he didn't feel like he deserves it. And, he says it feels like somebody else's, even though Cap says, well, it isn't. So he just gives it to the Smithsonian, and Rhodey's there, Don Cheadle, who will be returning later on in the MCU, because he's going to have his own show called Armor Wars. Kind of cool. It's supposed to be supposed to be coming out next year. So they're having a chat, wondering why did you, didn't take on the mantle, and he just told him, man, it's a lot of pressure, bro. It's a lot of pressure. I don't feel ready for it, and it's Cap. It ain't mine. So and Rhodey's just basically telling, man, the world is broken. They're looking for a new hero, and it's crazy right now. So anyway, Rhodey takes off, and Sam is just sitting there staring at the shield. Then it cuts to him, not really cut, because, I'm kind of going in all out of order here. Then it shows Sam returning back to Louisiana to his sister and his kids, and her kids, his nephews, because when he got blipped out, they were damn near babies, and now they're grown after the 5 years blip. So, and she's struggling trying to keep their family's business afloat, fishing business afloat, especially the ship, and she wants to sell it because they need the money. And Sam basically is like, no, this is our family legacy. We can't sell it. Well, what do you want to do? They just go back and forth. And he's there, I'm here to help you, So they basically go to the bank to try to get a loan. And the guy they're talking to, the bank agent they're talking to get a loan, is kind of keep, looking at him like, I know you from someplace. And then Sam like, Ah, Falcon, hey. So Sam basically is thinking he can use that celebrity status to get the loan. Plus, military, they have their own little personal, I forgot the word, I forgot the name of it, their own, retirement stuff. But because of the blip, and they had to readjust everything, and then everybody returns, so more people now. So it's like, you know, we can't give it to you because, it's a lot of loans we got to give out, and there's too many people, so we got to, you know, we're on a budget basically. So they basically are heartbroken, especially his sister. Even though the dude kept asking, "Hey, can I get a selfie? Yeah, can I get you with your arms out?" It just the wrong time. And he was also being real, dickish about, don't you guys get a retirement fund? You superhero, don't you get paid? Did Tony give you money? My condolences, by the way. Just kind of being rude about it. Um, which is interesting, because yeah, Tony was the billionaire, but as I saw some people saying, well, he could have went to Pepper for the money, but Sam is probably too proud for that. Plus, who knows how Pepper Potts feel that Tony's died, and she's probably still dealing with that, raising their daughter. But so who knows how she would have felt if Sam came to her for help, even though, and she's busy dealing with her own stuff right now. So who knows? Who knows? So, but like I said, we also got, uh, Winter Soldier, Bucky, he's trying to readjust to civilian life. There's this old guy he always hangs out with, kick it with. Because he's older. He's like 106. I think he said, and so he probably feels more comfortable, with the senior citizens, the old folks, and just, And they go to this like sushi type place to eat, and there's this girl there being all kind of flirtatious with him. And the old dude's like, ask her out, and he kind of, hey, he wants to take you out. So hey, man, hook it up. So, but then then the old guy sees some food that kind of remembers um, his son that died. That was his son's favorite food, and he and Sam just kind of looking at him, just kind of, closing his eyes because he's having, he's trying to still, even though he still gets his Winter Soldier flashbacks, because in that dream that he had, not necessarily a flashback, but a nightmare, a dream that he had, that he was a Winter Soldier on a mission, killing, went to get somebody, and then there was this guy in the hallway that saw all that went down, and he killed him. And it turns out that was his friend's son. So yeah, that's yeah. And I think he probably knew that the whole time. That's probably why. And we didn't know why he was really friendly with this dude. He thought he might have been an old war buddy from back in the day before he went into the ice himself. So so he's basically there to make amends because, as his therapist, he's telling his therapist that he's been going around making amends. He has his book to, people that you want to apologize to and all that. Bucky Barnes, I'm not the Winter Soldier, you know. And, he went and apologized to this one lady that he helped put in power when he was a Winter Soldier and ended up getting her arrested because, she's doing dirt still. So, so it's just kind of interesting how he's trying to just. It's kind of interesting that they both are dealing with confidence issues. Because even though Bucky went on the date with the girl, he's still kind of awkward. And he was drinking a lot when they were playing Battleship, which is something that some of you probably don't know. Just like Captain Rogers, Captain America, because of the super soldier serum, they can't get drunk. Their body's immune, they can't get drunk because of the super soldier serum. So, which is kind of interesting. I'm sure a lot of people like to have something like that. So, they're it's immune to toxins and all kinds of diseases and all that. So they basically can't get drunk because of their high metabolism, super high metabolism. So, like I said, he, talking to the therapist and they're going back and forth with the therapist because the therapist she used to be in the military as well. So she's in therapy because she understands and knows what the soldiers go through with PTSD and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of, and they're incorporating a lot of stuff that's going on today, with the MCU, which is kind of cool. They're doing it very subtle. It doesn't seem forced. You know what I mean? It does seem kind of organic. And then you have Torres, who's out there in Switzerland, because when he was out there talking to Sam, um, before Sam took off, uh, he was letting him know on his phone that he was always recording stuff and the big handprint with the world as the palm about this group called Flag Smashers, which is also um, a Captain America villain's Flag Smasher. So it's kind of interesting how they're using that to make this group. So he's in Switzerland, because he's on the trail of them. He's just trying to monitor them and see what's going on with this group, see what they're about. But he decides to get involved. So he ends up meeting up with these groups of people, kind of like a flash mob kind of thing. This one lady comes in, puts a bag down. She's wearing the Flag Smasher mask with the handprint, gives it out to everybody, and it looks like they're about to do a flash mob scene, which they were because they were breaking into the Switzerland bank. So to create this big old diversion for everybody, so the cops wouldn't be able to find out who's who robbed the bank. There's tons of them, and one of the guy Torres tries to confront ends up whooping it, handing his ass to him. And he was really strong because it shows him kicking an officer damn near across the street into a pole. So this also makes me wonder: are some of these people are from the Super Soldier Serum from Captain America: Civil War when they went to stop the super soldiers that were all being created, but Bucky supposedly killed them all when he was a Winter Soldier. So, but maybe this is a whole new program because I think Thunderbolt Ross was talking about, I guess he was seeing starting up a new, like a new Super Soldier Serum type program. So I'm wondering if it has to do with that, or there's also a character from the comic book. I got some notes here that I'm, checking out. Hold on, bear with me. Hold on, people. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. Doctor. What is the doctor's name? Carl Malice, aka Power Broker, who also started up his own version of the Super Soldier program and created a bunch of superhuman people. So I'm wondering if he might be making an appearance down the road on this show. So then because Torres calls Sam to let him know what happened, he came across them and all that, and shows him footage of the guys. And so Sam's like, what are you doing? I thought you were just supposed to be monitoring them. And he's like, well, you got to get your hands dirty, So, which also is a hint that maybe he will become the Falcon because it shows he's fearless, willing to do what it takes to get the job done. So, and then Sam's sister comes to him because when he was on the phone talking with him after he hangs up saying, hey, check out, watch, you need to see this on TV. And the guy is up there talking, making a speech saying the guy that he gave the shield to at the Smithsonian, hey, I got it, and saying that, it was great that we had heroes, but we need a new hero for basically America and blah, 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 saying all this stuff. So we like to introduce you to the new Captain America. And Sam is just like, it's like a stab in the heart and in the back, because why didn't they ask him? Even though he didn't feel ready for it, but still, why didn't they ask him? So it makes you wonder, are these guys setting Sam up to fail so they can replace him? Makes you wonder. So, and out walks the new Captain America, which is played by Wyatt Russell, who is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son. And he's been in the acting game for a while. He's done some movies out there. Small parts, nothing major. But this is probably one of the biggest parts of his, career to be playing in. So that's kind of cool. But in the comic book, he plays, I wonder if this is, I have to do some research on it, the Patriot, which is in the comics, who takes over as Captain America, or is he, I'm just curious. But this character name is, slipped my mind because it's been a while. Hold on. I'm also checking the notes, so I'm trying to play it off, but hell with it. I'm just going to look. John Walker. John Walker, who is, going to be the new Captain America. So obviously he's going to be a problem. So I'm digging the series. I love the series. I think it's awesome. They're really taking the time for character development. They're not jumping in right away because we still haven't seen Zemo yet. Um, Agent Carter's niece, I forgot her name, but she hasn't made an appearance yet. So I'm loving this. I am loving this. This is an awesome show. Awesome show. I just like how they're showing the struggles they both are going through, which obviously will bring them together down the road. But it's cool. I'm liking it. I am liking it. So this is kind of refreshing after WandaVision. So two different episodes, two different series. So, and also two different worlds too that they both are going through. So let me know what you thought of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier first episode. Hit some comments down below. And like I said, hit like, subscribe, and share. Okay? So until next time, Hitman Thornton, your favorite mother freaking role model, and the Buddhist with an attitude, aka Mr. Wonderful. For Raw Reaction TV. Until next time, peace out, biatches. And to remember always, stay zen, woosah, as fuck.